welcome to our channel. Today we are starting our intro video. Yesterday we had asked y'all on Instagram to send us questions and y'all delivered. My name is Jacqueline.
And my name's Sarah.
So our first question is, did you spend more money on your wedding or your honeymoon?
I'm trying to think. I think I spent more money on my wedding. We didn't spend a ton on either. I mean, it wasn't like $35,000 like you hear like a lot of people spending. But yeah, we went to Colorado for our honeymoon and just kind of spent a week in the mountain area. And then yeah, we just had like a wedding in like a little farm area. But it was really nice. Like I personally only paid for like bridesmaid stuff and like our save the dates. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say we also spent the most on our wedding. We just did something simple for our honeymoon. We went to Pigeon Forge in Gatlinburg area and just got a cabin up there. And actually, Aaron and I didn't share a bank account yet at the time, so he actually spent the money on our honeymoon and I didn't spend anything. And then both our parents, spent money on our wedding. So I think the only things I actually contributed were the bridesmaids, get ready, robes, the cake topper, the save the dates, and asking the bridesmaids with those little bridesmaid cards. I don't even know what those are called. But yeah. The second question is, so before we answer this question in full, we have to kind of preface it. So I'll say the question and then we'll kind of explain it. The question is, what is life on the ranch full-time like? So for those who don't know, we live in Middle Tennessee at a camp, and our husbands, both of our husbands, they work full-time. They're considered program staff, but that basically entails a lot of different things. So for instance, during the summer when we do have our camp programs, my husband Aaron and her husband Wilson will be basically all over the place doing different little jobs. And then off season, which is where we're at right now, is where we are right now with off season. So that usually starts mid-August and then up until when camp season starts again at the end of May. So life on the ranch though, working here at a camp ministry is, honestly it's really fun. Being here full time, you get to see all the different seasons. I love Tennessee, I've grown up in Tennessee. So seeing all the different seasons come, but then also just the community that's here at the ranch. We live near a lot of like really good people, and yeah, it's kind of like a really hard question to answer because like every part of the year is just different. Like you have camp, but that's just a whole nother thing, which is really busy. You don't really see, if you're married, you don't really see your husband as much. But then off season it's all regular, so regular work hours. So it feels a lot more normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would just say off season's more normal. You have your routines, your schedules down, and then camp is more of like not
24/7.
Yeah.
Stay up really late.
Yeah, you don't know when your husband's coming home basically.
Yeah.
Which I mean, it's fine to only last 2 months. So it kind of in the moment feels sometimes like it's a long time, but it really is not.
It really is not. And then like she said, in the fall it regulates, and then winter is, and we have retreats and stuff, but it's not as demanding.
Right, they're
So
they're on the weekend, so in the weekend, on the weekend, they're part of the weekend.
yes. So
Yeah, that's that question. So the third question, I think, is mainly for me. How are you adjusting to your new life as a mama? I am adjusting pretty well. The first 2 weeks, I would just say for us were the hardest, for Aaron and I both. But after that second week, going into the third, I think we really started getting more of a somewhat rhythm down. There's not really a rhythm to having a newborn yet. They're just kind of trying to figure things out themselves. But at this point, we're almost to month 3 of having our baby Jack. So I think we're adjusting pretty well. And you also, like when you're pregnant, you have obviously about 9 months to mentally prepare and prepare your home. And that really helps a lot too, because then you're obviously, you know your baby's coming. So that kind of helps with the adjustment period too. And then family is also a huge support in that. But
I have a dog.
She has a dog. So she's a dog mama. Our third question. So how long have you known each other?
So, we've known each other for a little, is it 3 years?
It's a little over 3 years.
Yeah. So we've known each other a little over 3 years. We just now recently moved really close, literally neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
But we originally, I'm from Louisiana, so I lived like 700, 800 miles away. She lived here, so most of the time it was like FaceTime calls or texting.
Mm-hmm.
When I'd come and see Will, which he lived here, so when I'd come to visit him, then she would be here.
Yeah, we were just long distance friends for a little while.
But it's nice now because we just literally go in our backyard.
Yeah.
Because we kind of share a backyard.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
The second part to that question is, what's the hardest part of being married?
I don't know. I really don't have that bad of a marriage.
Well, you've only been married for like 5 months.
That came out wrong. I've only been married for about 5 months, so things obviously come up and like little things, but I wouldn't say that there's like a huge like outstanding. Of course, like the really this habit that he does is annoying, and not like in a bad way at all. It's just kind of like, you know, little things when you live with people like roommates at college. So college, you know, just like little things, but nothing super hard. But I guess maybe just maybe adjusting to life with another person. And we were long distance for like 2 years before we got married. So I guess adjusting to like living in the same house and just, you know, just like, I guess like adjusting like having a roommate in a way, if that makes sense. But yeah.
I would say for me, well, so before Aaron and I even got married, we were together for 4.5 years once we got married. So now we've been together for 7 years, married for 2. I don't know. I guess the hardest part for us would just be maybe, and it really isn't that hard. I think it's just the one thing I guess that could be hard is just the communication part. Not that we just bottle everything in, but I think just because of how life can get a little busy sometimes, and sometimes you might forget to tell them something, or you kind of want to talk about something but you don't really know how to approach it, and so then you kind of just keep it in for a little bit, and that can maybe cause, not issues, but it just could cause a little bit of tension. But once you start talking it out, it's usually fine.
Yeah.
But I would say probably communication for us, but yeah.
We just got like difficult questions, and this one was like one of the main ones, and it was, how did y'all meet your husbands?
Do you want me to go first? Sure. Okay, so 7 years ago, which was 2015 in July of 2015, I was a camper here actually at the Bill Race Ranch, and Aaron was working here as one of the positions called the ranch hand position. At that point, it was the second part of the summer, or second half for the ranch hands, and he was doing grounds. Not that any of that really is important, but anyway, so I was a camper, and I don't know exactly what day it was that I met him that week, but it was earlier in the week, probably like a Tuesday or something. But so before the ranch turned the now Longhorn coffee shop into the coffee shop, it was just a Longhorn hotel, which was basically a room with ping pong tables and like an air hockey table. So I met Aaron in there. He was playing with a buddy of his, and I was with a girlfriend of mine. And I immediately saw Aaron when I walked into the room and just thought he was the cutest thing. He had bright blue eyes, a big smile, and I smiled. I think he said I waved at him. I don't remember waving, but I probably did. I have an awkward... wave. So basically from that moment on, we really liked each other that week, but we were both really shy that we didn't talk to each other. So Friday, which was the last day of camp that week, I got up the nerve to literally write down everything that I had. So had as in my number, my 2 emails, my Instagram, my Pinterest, and my Snapchat. All on a piece. Yeah. You never know. So,
Paper.
yeah. Anyway, I gave him this little pink paper with all of my information on it. Not passwords, but just my usernames. And I basically got really bashful, like I am now. I don't know why, but I caught him after because every day after lunch, he would follow me down to the volleyball court and we would play volleyball with some of our friends. And we got the call to go to camp choir and we kind of lingered back. And I handed him the piece of paper and I started stumbling over my words and I was like, so I have my number on here and I listed everything else that I had on that paper and I was like, you could call me if you want or text me, but you don't have to, but you can if you want, but you don't have to. And I was just going back and forth, getting really nervous. And Aaron quietly said that he would text me on Saturday, which was the next day. So Friday evening, my parents picked us up from camp. We went home, obviously, and Saturday morning, I was unpacking, and I get a text from Aaron. I scream. My mom's like, "Why are you screaming?" And I told her that basically Aaron had just called for a text me, and she's like, "Who's Aaron?" So then I had to explain to her who Aaron was and all this stuff, and my mom's like, "That's never gonna work out." Lo and behold, here I am. I'm married to my camp crush. So that's how we met.
So kind of similar story. I was a camper here in 2018 and he was working here as a cowboy and all the girls liked him, okay? And I saw him across the way and I never thought I would like a blonde-headed guy, but for those of you that know Wilson or have seen Wilson, he's very blonde-headed, okay? Every blonde-headed guy I'd seen wasn't that attractive, okay? So then I'm in the auditorium, I look across the auditorium and I see this really, really cute guy. And he turned around and he was smiling. I thought he was smiling at me, okay? He wasn't smiling at me. Okay, so he turned around and I was like, wow, he looks like that. He's got a really nice smile, like he's really cute. And I smiled back. And then he smiled again and I was like, smiled again. I was like, what is he doing? And I realized he wasn't smiling at me. So it was really embarrassing. But then, and I even did like a little wave. Anyway, so then, I was there because there was like an internship program and stuff, so I was part of that. So I was there for 2 weeks. So I'd see him and I knew his name because almost every girl on the campground was in love with him. So everybody was saying his name, but I was going to pretend that I did not think anything about him. So literally we'd be in the cafeteria and I'd be looking down at my potatoes and he would always, every lunchtime, he would be sitting across from me and he would look at me and he would smile at me and I wouldn't smile back. I kept looking at my potatoes and I wouldn't look up because I knew he was right there. I don't know how that always happened, but my table was always across from his. Anyway, that was really unnecessary information. But anyway, so it turns out I was there the whole time and then I left. And I thought about him the whole time, but I was like, well, nothing's gonna come of that. So then I go back the next summer and I'm actually working in the dining hall as a cook. So I was there the entire summer, so just a few weeks. And I really liked him still. And before I thought he was cute, but I didn't really talk to him. And so I became friends with him and I really, really started to like him. And Jackie actually was part of our help. So she was there.
Not by choice at first, obviously.
No. But somehow, anyway, long story short, I liked him for the entire summer, and then became really good friends, and I was like, well, like, maybe he likes me, I don't know. And then Jacqueline, or Jackie, or Jack, came to me and was like, hey, Sarah, I don't know if you know this, but Wilson really, really likes you. And I was just so happy, like, I couldn't, like, anyway, turns out we were going to both going to the same college, He asked me out at the end of the summer, and then we texted, and then we got back to college, we started officially dating, and now here we are. Ta-da! Anyway, that was a really long story. So our sixth question that we've chosen was, how did our friendship start?
So our friendship started in 2019, like we had said before, and so I didn't know that Sarah liked Wilson that summer. I wasn't there in 2018 for some health reasons, but in 2019 I came back to work, and because Aaron and Wilson are best friends, I was around them quite often. And I didn't know that Wilson had liked Sarah either, and there was a dinner that we were at, and Sarah and Wilson were both there, and I kind of was just looking at both of them while there was a lot of conversation going on at the table. And so for me at the table, it looked like they matched in a way where they kind of looked similar, and I just thought they would be really cute together. And I had mentioned it to Aaron later, and he was like, oh yeah, Wilson likes her. And I was like, no way. So then somehow our friends, well, Aaron, Wilson, and our friend Jeffrey asked me to basically spy on Sarah, which spying, obviously that sounds creepy. And I thought it was creepy to just spy on her. So what I ended up doing is I ended up asking her and another girl out to go to coffee and shopping, which I don't really ask strangers to go out with me.
We're introverts.
Yeah, I'm an introvert, and so asking anyone to go out with me that I don't know especially is nerve-wracking. But I ended up doing it anyway, and it ended up being a really fun afternoon. So that's kind of how we became friends. And then I don't know when I told Sarah that Wilson liked her. It was sometime in
like July.
So
like towards the end of the summer.
So towards the end of the summer then I told her. But yeah, basically from that summer on we've just been friends, and I think a lot of it has to do with just our husbands already being friends, and so I think that just kind of, it was just a natural friendship, honestly, just how it all kind of came about, especially with Wilson, obviously keeping his relationship with Sarah.
So our last question was basically why and how we decided to start this channel. What happened was, well, I guess it was last year. We went ahead and we're like, hey, we'd like to do a YouTube channel eventually. But obviously then I was living in Louisiana, so it was really long distance. So that would be hard. So we decided to start a blog together, and some of you know of it, but it was girl written. And basically it was just kind of devotionals every week that we were doing. And then a hacker decided to destroy our entire website. And so it's been down since early
December?
Was it December?
Yeah.
December or January. And so we did like an Instagram. Our Instagram basically also got hacked. So basically all of our outlets were down. So we decided, you know, we're gonna wait a few months. By the time I was engaged and planning a wedding, so we decided to start one after summer when things slow down.
So we basically want to continue with what we've been doing with what we had with the blog and with the Instagram, and just continue to encourage young ladies, whether they be around our age or younger or wherever they are really in life. We just want to be a encouragement, just bringing a biblical truth to all of the encouragement that we do have, or advice. But we also want to bring some fun elements to the channel as well. So we'd eventually like to bring our husbands in, maybe for an interview.
If they will.
Yeah, if
We don't know.
We don't know yet, but we'd like to do something like that. We'd like to have maybe some vlogs of maybe different things that we do, and then just we like doing these sit downs. So just doing more sit down chats and advice with whatever maybe y'all want us to talk about. Basically, we'll just talk about it and just have fun. This is just a fun platform that we just hope that will and just encourage others.
So that was all for this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos from us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell to get a notification anytime that we post. And if you'd like, you can comment because we love feedback, whether it's critical, just don't be mean.
Don't be mean.
And give us topics of what you'd like us to talk on next time. And we will see y'all next Thursday.
Next Thursday. Be there or be square.
Bye. Y'all.
Hello, welcome to our channel. Welcome to our intro video. Today we are talking about today we're talking about ourselves. So let's get started. To the intro video. So that's the extent of that.